All right. Hello, 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 hello. Sean Brady doing a little regular wine guy, especially for Valentine's Day. I got my man, Jayton Gunter, sommelier extraordinaire, out in San Francisco. Jayton, how you doing today?
What up, y'all? Jayton here, owner of Grapes and Sand Publishing, and ready to get drinking and talking about Valentine's Day wine. Let's go.
And here's what I love about Jayton Gunter. Hashtag wine steal of the week.
Yep, coming up.
Yes. And it is Wine Wednesday, or it's wine down, as they like to say in other parts of the world. And so we're winding down, we're winding up with a couple of cool things. Rosés, if you will, because it's getting ready for Valentine's Day weekend, right? So last week we did a couple of reds, a couple of awesome blends. This week we're doing some awesome rosés. I hope to be an awesome rosé. I have no idea. I've never yet had this wine before. And Jayton, what did you get?
So I got another rosé. The grape is Caladoc. This is out of Southern Rhone, France. And I can't wait to get into this wine. I've tried it, and if this isn't one of the sexiest rosés I've had in a long time, I don't know what is. I can't wait to get into this with you guys.
Did you say sexiest rosés of all time?
Sexy.
Now I'm interested. All right, so I'm going to jump right into this one. And so I have I'll read it off the bottle and then show it to y'all. But the Vintner's Reserve from Samuel Robert Winery. Now, the reason why I chose this wine is I didn't know a whole lot about it. Both of these wines, by the way, we found at Total Wines. Mine was here in Missouri, and we had the other one, my store 1803.
Mine was in
Fremont. Where's yours at?
Fremont, California.
Fremont, California. So we get wines in between. And I was actually able to pick up the wine that Jayton's drinking as well, which I was super excited about. And this one that I got is a Pinot Noir Rosé. Obviously, we're doing Rosé today. But specifically, I like Pinots from Oregon, and specifically Willamette Valley. And so that's why I chose this one. It did have a 91 point rating from Wine Enthusiast, which kind of swayed my decision a little bit. But sometimes those ratings are wrong. So that's why we got to get right into it, right?
That's so true, brother. It's all about your palate. Let's see if it works with your palate.
Exactly. So on this one, screw top, which is common to a lot of rosés, a lot of whites, especially in the summertime. Easy access, I like to say. And just, a nice little crack. It's not the same as a pop, but we'll take it. All right, so we got this guy going.
Oh, look at that clear glassware. That looks beautiful. Look at the color of the wine, too.
I know. Look at that.
Looks beautiful, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A little bit more than a tasting, but let's see what we get on the nose here. Get right into it, as my man says. Ooh. I don't know. Can you they said they indicated fruity, some of the people I was talking to about this wine, but it's like a subtle dry fruit. It's not like an over empowering nose or anything like that. It's just, I'm getting like soft strawberries and cherries, almost like slightly like, do you get a dryness on the nose? Is that possible?
Yeah, definitely. Like you could definitely get, like, instead of regular juicy strawberries, dried fruits. Always, I get them all the time. It kind of tells you the difference between, if I'm blind tasting, for example.
Yes.
It gives you the difference between varietals sometimes. Like, for example, if I'm blind tasting a Sangiovese, the fruit tends to be a little bit more stewed. So I know that it may be cherry, and it's cherry. I can find cherry in all these other varietals, but it's a stewed cherry. That means it may be in the camp of Italian, more Sangiovese, as opposed to some other varietal that carries cherry in it. So definitely you can get dried cherry, you can get stewed cherry, fruit like juicy cherry, all types of cherry or varietal. Or I'm sorry.
That's what I'm getting. It's like almost like a dried cherry, or even like a dried strawberry. Even. Yeah. That's where I'm getting the strawberry notes. It's not like it's like, I'm just biting into a juicy strawberry.
Yeah, it's not fleshy at all. It's more dried. I get it.
Correct. That's why we brought J-Town along, because he makes my knowledge much better with my descriptors. Hey, that's which another thing. Your book is so easy to read. Fruit in Glass, the first book you came out with, and then I love the name of the other book too. For that, basically, I look at it as your kind of your cheat sheet, but your wine cliff notes, right? Yeah, it's like, oh wow, this is awesome stuff.
That's exactly why I did it. I wanted to make it easier, and it's a lot less pages than this one, than the Fruit in Glass. So.
All right, here we go. All right, should I taste it now or should I wait?
Let's go.
Let's go, people. Let's go. Sean, what are you waiting for?
Oh, you already like it. I can tell.
I do. And here's the thing. Here's the truth of the matter. I usually don't get rosé, and I don't get a whole lot of white wines outside of summertime. And, with the heat, we like something chilled down even a little bit more.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this a lot. I'm trying to say, I'm thinking of different holiday meals that this would be wonderful to pair with, right? So certainly, I mean, you could do this with turkey and going back to Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I'm even looking forward to future holidays where, sandwiches, man. I'm thinking of I would, if we're going to drink at lunch, I might drink this at lunch or have lunch for dinner, right? And just have a simple sandwich or salad, with, this would go great with grilled chicken and things like that.
Ooh. Is it more of like a medium body or full body, you think?
I would say medium on this one.
Gotcha.
Thank you. I just like to drink sometimes, and I forget to share all the descriptors in my notes.
No, I want to know. That's the only reason I asked. I wasn't trying to I'm curious to know whether it's full or medium for myself. So when I try it, I'm like, okay, what am I going to pair this with?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's definitely medium bodied, which I like for a rose. It's like, it's not too light for a rosé. So you're getting, it's like, oh, there's some of that, not weightiness that a Pinot brings, but you can tell that it's Pinot behind it, right? Gotcha. And it's just that nice kind of subtle wine flavor, grape that's definitely distinctive in the Pinot family.
Got you. What's structure looking like on that? Does it have are you getting any kind of acidic bite or anything, or is it more kind of just smooth mouthfeel with not a lot of, acid?
A little bit of acid, but mostly smooth.
Got you. Sounds amazing.
For sure. But look at that. Isn't that a great color?
I love that color, man. It's like electric. It's like jumping out of the...
I know. It's like compared to the wine, there was definitely a color difference.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, what is this going to be like? And this does have a truly a fruitier, I haven't tried the other one yet, but a very fruit forward presence that's not overwhelming. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is like too sweet and sugar water. This is like syrup.
It's funny you say that, because the amount of people that I get, my mother included, that will not drink rosé because it reminds them of White Zinfandel, because White Zinfandel. I have nothing against, whatever. If you like White Zinfandel, that's on you. But I'm saying a lot of people who have had White Zinfandel, they don't like the sugar, they don't like the clawiness and the finish, how it just kind of sits there. And so every time I love rosé. So every time I'm trying to I'm drinking a rosé, she's like, "What are you sipping on?" And I'll tell her, I'm like, "You want a glass?" She's like, "Yeah." And everybody comes at me like that. But the funny thing is, there is a rosé out there for you. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of whether you like red wine or white wine. There is a rosé out there, because they do not come in the same bubble wrap package. These things are different. They are not a monolith at all. They are different. And so there's 2 styles of rosés I really dig. Some of them are whatever, but there's 2 styles that I really, really dig. And so I gravitate towards those. But there's other people that I know that like a little bit more of body and weight and, less acid. And so I get that too. It's what you can find your rosé. You just got to you got to kiss a couple frogs to find your prince. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Speaking of kissing frogs and princes, so Valentine's Day, here's exactly when I would serve this one. I would do a Valentine's Day brunch.
I love that idea. I'm with you.
110%, because this is going to hold up with not over syruping, your waffles or your French toast or anything like that. But man, this would go wonderful with some carbs. And then even if you do like an eggs Benedict or something like that with a little bit heavier sauce, it's gonna hold up to the weight of a hollandaise sauce.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
I like that. Probably enough acid to break right through it, right?
Just enough, right? It's going to hold up to the acidity of the lemon juice and the hollandaise sauce. And it's like, oh, it makes you happy. And it's only brunch time.
I'm not mad at that, man.
Not mad at all.
Ooh.
All right. Now, I know there's a few other people online. Let's see if there's Jenny, you can let us know and just do a little text chat in our Zoom call so we can see any questions that come up while we're doing this.
Please do. Because
that'll be good. Because J-Time, you should be able to see him come up too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'm not tech savvy. I just drink wine for a living.
I'm a little tech savvy, but that's why we have Jenny, our media coordinator, in the background. All right, Steve, did you see that pop up?
I do see it, yes.
All right, we got the technology working in our favor.
I learn something new every day, my friend.
I know. That's what if we're not learning and we're not enjoying life and experience it, hey, what's it all about? What are we doing? Right.
That's real. All right, we ready? You ready for me to get into this a little bit?
I do want you to get into that because I've been watching you sip on it for the past 20 minutes, man. I'm like, all right, I want to get some descriptors here. I'm going to go to my notes. You just keep going.
Normally, I would take my time and wait for you to drink your wine. And at the beginning, I'll take a sip just to kind of know what it is, smell it, make sure it's not corked, all that kind of stuff. But I took a sip of it, and I was like, oh, my goodness. And I couldn't stop sipping it. So that's where we're at.
Well, I like that intro just on its own. You're making me want to say, I got to go try that one now.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
All your descriptors are making me want to try it right now. I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, 110%.
All right, so we're gonna get into this. Let me tell you a little bit about the bottle before we get into it. So this is a pretty obscure grape. It's called Caladoc, and it only comes out it's only grown in parts of Portugal, Languedoc, and Provence. And so it's a really unique grape. And, I like uniqueness. I'm always looking for a grape that I have not tried. So when I had bought this bottle probably about a month and a half ago, and I loved it. So I was like, I want to go back to this because I remember that this was a sexy bottle. And if we're talking about, Valentine's Day wine, this is the rosé I would think to go with. So this is Tendance is the name of the label by Franck Olivier Mousset. 2019. I'm going to put the bottle there so you guys can see it. Hope that's enough for you. And let's get right into this because there's a lot to be said about this wine already. On the nose. No, you got it. You got it. Hey, I'll wait for you if you want to sip it with me.
Okay, hang on a second.
Yeah, I'll wait for you.
I'm going to switch glasses so I know which is which. I won't use the same pretty one. I just gave Michelle my other nice crystal clear stem glass from the Costco.
How did she like your wine last time? The red wine. We never heard her.
Oh, Michelle, we never got your opinion on the red wine last week with Jayton. She doesn't remember. That was a whole week ago.
I respect that.
No, I do remember. She gave it a 3.5 stars, which that means I'd buy at least another bottle, right? So that's not a bad rating at all. My rating system goes 3. I'd drink it again, but I'm not spending my hard-earned money on that bottle again, right?
I feel that.
2.5 stars, that's where we get into shaky territory. It's like we're telling people about it in a bad way. Yeah. But 3.5 stars is actually a good thing because I would drink it again. I would buy it again. And, there's so many great wines out there. To get a 4 or 4.5 or 5 star in my world, that's got to be something so a 5 star has got to be, buy as many bottles as you can possibly afford. Right. Yeah. So you're buying at least a case. 4.5 is six or more bottles. 4 stars, 3 or more bottles, because you don't want to share it with friends. And that was the whole idea behind it. And that was the easiest rating system for me as far as from a social distancing standpoint. What would I really want to do? Because nobody has an unlimited budget, that's right? Yeah. And it just made sense. And so from a regular wine guy standpoint, I always try to pair everything up with the food and not just I actually leave a lot of the descriptors out of it. And what I would want to pair it with and enjoy it with, so not just food, but also great conversation. Sometimes I even share the topics.
Well, if it's a 5-pointer for me, I'm not sharing anything. It's just for me. 4.5, maybe I'll share. 4, I'll share. 5-pointer.
I love that too. Just like our own palates. Everybody's got to have your own little system.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this. Ooh, that's a lot different.
Yeah. So I'm going to get right into the nose on this.
Please do.
So I'm getting fleshy strawberry. I'm getting raspberry going on there too. There's a secondary salty thing going on the nose too, like kind of like a minerality kick, like a sea salt type thing. Do you remember watermelon Jolly Ranchers?
I do.
I'm getting a little bit of that too going on the nose. And also rose petal and underripe peach.
Yes, I get the rose petal.
Rose petal and underripe peach is there too. It's a pretty complex wine on the nose.
And they're we'll share pricing and stuff at the end, but keep going.
All right, I'm gonna leave it there on the nose. I'm gonna get into the palate because I want to see if every translates. Because there's a lot going on. And once I taste it, a lot of things are going to pop out that I probably did not catch on the nose. Okay, so this is one of those wines that when you taste it without letting the air in, it's already delicious. The mouthfeel is beautiful. It's elegant. There is some acid here, which I like, but it's in check. It's all balanced with the fruit because there's some less fruit kind of tap dancing up the middle of your palate and kind of staying for the finish because it has a pretty decent length of finish too. But when you let the air in, there's some complexity that pops in. That peach I was talking about is there that kind of kicks in the third quarter to the finish. I'm getting that strawberry and watermelon Jolly Rancher. They're on the initial tack. And then you also get a little bit of that raspberry that kicks in the second quarter. So it's a fruit. It's a lot of fruit here, but it is acidic enough to balance out that lush fruit. I kind of like it just because of that mouthfeel, and I think that mouthfeel is really sexy. If it's me talking, you were talking about how you would drink yours for brunch. For me, and I'm thinking about the food I'm eating and like the time of day I want this, because this is more of a full body wine, even though the color would make you think it's not. This is more of a full body rosé. I want this right. I can already see it. I'm sitting there. I don't know if you guys know about Capitola in California, but Capitola is by the sea, is like literally this little small town right on the water, right on the beach. And I can see myself right before the sun goes down, drinking this bottle of wine with my lady, and we're having charcuterie. Like I think like some salami and stuff would be really amazing with this. Prosciutto. I also like some like really rich cheese would go really well with this. And also I think this would hold up to salmon, like either smoked salmon or just regular salmon this would kill with. So I see myself sitting there as the sun's going down with my lady, watching the waves come in, drinking this on eating some salmon or whatnot. So I really dig this wine quite a bit. And it's very complex. That watermelon thing is starting to like even more gel. And I'm getting that peach is staying on the finish. It's kind of the length of the finish is what I'm digging to.
I like how you described it with the minerality as well, because I'm still getting that, which is, I wasn't expecting that in this wine, especially with like when I went into the store, I'm trying to think of his name. It wasn't Willie. That was last week, but earlier in the week. But he's like, look, it's a crisp wine.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't describe it as crisp. Everything you described it as, it really makes it pop in a whole different way. I would actually say I lean towards this wine for my overall palate much more than the fruitier wine, which is a great brunch wine. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And that's exactly what I would peg it for and remain with that. And absolutely, I love the sunset description and the charcuterie and even the richer cheeses, transitioning to a soft salad with a grilled salmon or something like that. But that minerality in there makes such a huge dip. Like like a little fleur de sel salt on top of whatever you're eating is going to make it'll just brighten it all up. Like with this wine.
This is really, I mean, I want everybody to try this wine. This is really, especially because it's not the normal rosé. Like you're used to like a rosé of Grenache or Pinot Noir normally, or maybe Syrah or Merlot if you're in California. But to have something unique like Caladoc, and then having that with like a cool meal, like this, if you're in front of people that you're trying to impress a little bit about wine, you bring this bottle and you talk this up. Because most people, even if they know about wine, are not going to know about this varietal, and you'll be a superstar in front of their people. Plus, if you're on a date and it's Valentine's Day, this is a good talking point. This is a hell of a wine, in my opinion, and it's one of the better rosés I've had in a long time, and it's sexy. And I want sexy on Valentine's Day.
It's a sexy bottle. It's almost like my Scottish-Irish accent. They all sound the same.
I caught it.
Right.
It was funny too, because I almost
which a little shout out to Louise in case she's watching this. Louise McGaughan. I'll tell you what. So she's the Irish whiskey maker.
Okay.
Bonder, if you will, bonded whiskey in Ireland, and I'm speaking with her tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about.
So that's I was telling J-Town about that, and she's. I mean. And Jenny, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but hashtag WCW, we almost should have put that on here for her. As far as just women changing the world.
Yes.
Right? Or women crushing the world. Right?
I love it, man.
She's doing it. She's like an industry game changer. And I am so excited to talk with her tomorrow. And I'm wondering what she would think about this wine. I would recommend this wine to her.
Yeah, this is a good wine.
110%.
You know what's funny is originally, like when I saw this bottle 2 months ago, like the first time I bought it, I almost didn't buy it because of how beautiful the bottle is. And I tend to I don't know what it is. I'm not telling everybody to do this, but when people spend a lot of money on the packaging, I'm always thinking the juice is going to be subpar. But I took a chance. I wanted to try the grape, and I was very happy with what happened. This is delicious, guys. I recommend this highly. Go get it.
I think I would overall rate this one higher than the one I got. I like them both, right? They're at both at least 3.5 stars. I think I'm pushing this one closer to a 4-star, just because it is such a shock to if you're not like blindfolded doing it and you're look at this. I think the same thing about the packaging, right? Even the weight of the bottle. And we've talked about this in previous episodes where it's like, oh, come on, what are you doing here? It's like you get something fancy going on. What's the gimmick? I don't want to be like fooled by the gimmicks. And that's why I love to do blind tastings, and you're unbiased except for your palate. You either like it or you don't like it. It doesn't matter the packaging, the pricing. Mm-hmm. And I am so glad you picked this because I would have never been drawn to this bottle. I looked at them all. They have all the rosés in the same area.
They got a whole bunch of rosés too. They have a lot of
that
rosés.
One, from a marketing standpoint, didn't catch my eye at all.
Yeah,
right.
It was funny. I bought 2 bottles just to taste side by side, and the other one's actually really good. Actually, I'll
pull it over. People want to know about the rosés. Jenny or Gretchen, I know you got questions in the background, so don't be holding out on us.
So this one was out of Corsica.
Corsica?
Yeah.
The Corsican brothers.
Close to Lana. And I actually really, really dug this too. This had like a little bit of a grapefruit thing, which I love when I get in rosé. This had like a red grapefruit thing. It was really, really good, but the balance on this one just kind of won it out, in my opinion. Yeah. So
love it.
Anyway. I'm gonna drink some more.
What else should people know going into Valentine's Day? Because, and this is kind of a general rule of thumb. Anytime you go into a wine store,
Mm-hmm.
I was there today, just picking up a couple of bottles for us. Right, I wanted to make sure I had your bottle of wine, my bottle of wine, and make sure I got Jenny a bottle of wine. But I was even overwhelmed just going down another aisle. Right. So I got out of my focus, which was just rosé today. And I'm like, oh, what's in the red blend section? What's in the Cabernet section? Right. Because, I don't know if you like to do this, but I kind of like to do that.
Yeah, I do that too all the time.
And it can be a lot overwhelming. So is there any insight or advice besides just talking to the wine? I'll call them the wine steward or whoever's there at the store helping you, whether it be your local wine shop or wherever. Today was Total Wine.
Yeah.
But is there any other ideas or thoughts? And I think you put one of these in your books or two, but getting to know wines without knowing it.
Okay, so first thing, you just got to know what you like as far as grape varietal. So if you find, for example, you like Pinot Noir, and you're let's go back to the rosé section because that can be a little complicated. A lot of times they'll let you know what the grape is on the label. It'll be like a rosé of Pinot Noir or a rosé of Syrah or rosé of Grenache, unless it's France. The French don't care about you. Like they don't care about you. You have to really kind of look that up and know. You have to know the regions in France. They're not going to tell you. A lot of times they're not going to tell you what the grape is. You got to figure it out for yourself. But know what you like, and when you go to the rosé section, find the rosé of whatever that varietal that you like, and more than likely, not always. This is not like 100% thing, but most of the time you'll find that you like that wine because people travel for grapes. People go to certain wineries for a specific grape. Like if you're in Willamette, you know that you're there for Pinot Noir. You know what I mean? Because that's world-class Pinot. So you're there for Pinot Noir. Exactly. So it's just like we travel for the grapes that we like, and more than likely you will like your Pinot Noir of rosé because you like Pinot Noir. So that's one thing I would do. If you're talking about red wine, area is very important. So just kind of a little quick tip. If you like big, luscious wines and you're looking for California red wine, there's specific places that you want to look to. Look to Napa, look to Sonoma, look to Paso Robles. They tend to be bigger boy wines, a little bit more of the bigger grapes, the more like the warm, comforting blanket type of varietals there. Livermore too sometimes, depending on what you're looking for, and even Gilroy will have some too, because there's a lot of heat in those areas, so they tend to be a little bit bigger. If you're looking for higher acid, a little bit more delicate wines, then look at Santa Barbara County if you're looking in California. And then also there's some microclimates in Sonoma too that you can look at, but it's hard to know unless you really do the education for yourself. You have to taste a lot of wine, and that's why I always recommend going to Trader Joe's or something like that if you don't have the money to kind of taste through a lot of different types of wines to figure out where your palate lies. I can't give you a quick and hard way of getting to Valentine's Day because it's right there. But going forward, that's what I would recommend is taste as much as you can, keep notes, and find out what you like. And if you have any questions, you can always hit up the regular wine guy, or you can hit up me. And I would love to answer a question. I answer a lot of questions offline. You always DM me. So I'm here for that.
Yeah. On Instagram, is Instagram the best way?
Yeah, Instagram's the best way to hit me up.
Instagram is a great way for me too. It's just Brady.eats. And that's me on Instagram. J-Town, which Instagram account's best for you?
Mine is J-Town Gunter, J-Town Gunter, period. And it's JATONGUNTER because no one spells my name right. So again, that is JATONGUNTER.
And just in case you didn't get that, it's Brady, like Tom Brady. And .eats, like I'm going to eat with an S. So Brady.eats and J-Ton Gunter, JATON, just like Gunter was be spelled GUNTER. Very cool stuff.
Yes,
DM us on Instagram. Seriously. We love questions. We love, I love pairing it with food. I think wine is there to accentuate your experience, not just for food, but also conversation with other people, just like Jayton and I are doing now. I wish we were sitting across the table from one another.
I can't wait till we can, bro. I
I
cannot
know.
wait till we can like catch up like face to face and
The
just
same thing with Gretchen in the background and Jenny in the background and Josh in the background. I feel like Romper now. I see Jason and Jenny and everybody. But I'm dating myself with that. And Jenny shaking her head. I love it. It's good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Jayton, anything else that we want to say before Valentine's Day on Sunday?
Be kind, be patient with your significant other, and try to be understanding to their needs, because it's not a guy or girl holiday. It's about the person that you love, and you wanted to make them feel special for that specific day. And so that's what you should do. Just make sure that you're focusing on their needs. It's not about you this day. It's about them, and vice versa. So that's what
I would add also, just open up your heart.
Yes.
Because not everybody's with somebody, but that doesn't mean all you got to do and be in love is love somebody. And you start with opening up your heart, and everything else comes in.
And call your mom. Call your mom. Definitely call your mom on Valentine's Day.
Call your mom. Call your sister. Call your daughter. Call anybody. Just call somebody, right?
Yes. And drink
open your heart. And open a nice bottle of wine if you can. We gave you some great recommendations here for a couple of different things. We went from brunch or lunch to even dinner, and we hope these messages find you super happy well. Jayton, anything else before we sign off?
Nope, that's it. Go check out my book, Fruit and Glass, if you get a chance.
Definitely check out my book, Fruit and Glass, because it's an easy, simple read. It's priced ridiculously too low, but that's a different discussion for another time. And there's probably a box set coming along down the road. So it's not just that. He's also got the notes book and also the book of poems recently published.
And I got more books coming this year. Yeah, a lot of books.
And more books coming by more authors coming this year.
Yes, sir.
So very, very cool stuff. All right, everyone. We'll look forward to future episodes, especially on Wine Wednesday. Look for Wine Steals of the Week, because I always do. We like that. And definitely look for fun stuff with the regular wine guy. That's me on Vivino, Sean J. Brady. You see it up there on the screen. Regular wine. Wait, there we go. Regular wine guy, Sean Brady on Vivino. I love to rate wines, and specifically not just rate them for what's inside of them. I think other people give way better descriptors of that than I do, but I always love to pair it with food because I love the experience of that. All right, everybody. Jayton, one last time. Anything else for you?
That's it. Cheers, guys.
Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, might not see you in person, but we're always going to see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching.